You're listening to ayahuascapodcast.com.
I don't believe in God the way like we have, for example, in the Bible or that we have with religions, but I believe in maybe like a God as a source of everything. I think like in total I have like maybe between 15 and 20 ayahuasca ceremonies. I had such deep, profound experiences, and like in many I felt this feeling of wholeness with everything. Before I was happy, but like unconsciously happy. I was just living life, and every day I got up and I was thinking like, oh, I want to make this the best day of my life, but I had no like deeper thoughts about life or anything. And now I'm like so conscious of like how much time I have and that I need to spend it like with purpose. Everything is already there. You just have to remember. Like all the external stuff, once you find out that it's not that meaningful, there's only one place to search, right? It's like inside yourself. And I feel like there's this inner wisdom inside of ourselves that we forget about because we have our lives. And everything's busy and we're chasing all this stuff. But when you use ayahuasca, I think you can really connect with this inner wisdom. And inside, for me, there's like this unconditional love and like this inner peace and this feeling of universal trust. I think that if anybody feels it, then they can be happy even without anything. I believe that anybody that gets in touch with this feeling of healing, you can solve a lot of things for yourself.
Hi guys, and welcome to Ayahuasca Podcast. As always, we're the host, Sam Believ. Today I'm having a conversation with Rinus Van Offeren.
Yeah.
Rinus is a really cool guy. He's been a volunteer here for a few months, patient previously before that. Rinus has his own personal brand helping older men especially be healthy and happy and things like that. Rinus is an ex-military. He used to protect the royal family, right?
Yeah, I did bodyguard work for 10 years for the Dutch royal family and also politicians and that stuff.
Dutch royal family, politicians. So he has a very interesting story that I'd like you to hear. This episode is sponsored by LaWayra Ayahuasca Retreat. At LaWayra, we combine affordability, accessibility, and authenticity. LaWayra, connect, heal, grow. Guys, I'm looking forward to hosting you. So Rinus, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. First question. Tell us your story. How did you go from super extra masculine, guns wielding, protecting cowboy to where you are now? And tell what brought you here and what brought you to ayahuasca.
Yeah. I think maybe start with the first thing. What brought me to ayahuasca was in 2021 when in 2020 I was 40 years old and like a lot of stuff was happening in my life. So I got this feeling of like a midlife crisis. That was maybe the first thing that I started feeling like, okay, like the bus was going like for 40 years in one way. And I don't know, I get this strange feeling that something is like transitioning and that the bus turned around. And then I'm like, okay, this is the last 40 years of my life. So what am I going to do with it? Like the things that I was doing back then, it started feeling less valuable and more like a lack of purpose also. So I started having these life questions about like, who am I, like deeply inside, like what is life about, like all these things that I never thought about. And at the same time, I broke up with my ex-girlfriend. It was a 12-year relationship. Like the last 5 years, we were talking about having a kid, yes or no, and didn't work out. So at the time I was living in Ibiza because I 2018, I went full-time entrepreneur after my career at the Dutch government. And then I was living in Ibiza and I had like everything, like my status, my money, like my success was at the highest point ever. And I just felt like totally miserable. I felt like really depressed and I started getting into this black hole of, I had like thoughts that I never had before. I was always like Mr. Positivity, like really high stress trained. And I started like tumbling down this rabbit hole of depression. And I had such a nice life before. I mean, I grew up in a very loving family. My parents like really raised me in a good way, although they had their own traumas and had a lot of stuff going on. And but like in my youth also, when I got outside, I was in this environment that was pretty hard. Like I always had to like defend myself, and even as a young boy, like I grew up in tough neighborhoods, and I also did some stuff when I was younger that were like later on in my career. It's strange because I worked for the police force, but when I was younger, like between 15 and 25, I did some stuff that...
You're a naughty kid.
Yeah, I was a naughty kid. Yeah, I was always like adventurous and trying to find the boundaries of life. And afterwards, I started the career at the Dutch government, and then actually like because I was like growing up in this hard environment, like outside when I was a kid, and then went on into the government work where they like teach you to cut off your emotions completely. Like I felt like a rock after 13 years of doing this work. And I think that tumbled me when I quit the government work, and I was like an entrepreneur for 2 years and traveling the world as a digital nomad. I just tumbled in this hole of depression and not knowing how I could like handle my emotions, and started feeling stuff inside like grief and sadness, but I didn't really have any method to deal with it. And that's actually what brought me to ayahuasca. Then it's really funny because like I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, and afterwards she moved to Mexico. It was a really sad breakup, because we loved each other very much, and we had to break up because it didn't work because of the child question. But she moved to Mexico, and then after I was in Ibiza, the trigger point to like do something about it was I got in the hospital in Ibiza at one point because my blood pressure was above 200, like my upper pressure. And I found out by coincidence, but I had this stress feeling in my body already for 5 years, like from my toes to my head. Like every morning that I got up, I got this like stress feeling, was really bad. And then I got into the hospital in Ibiza by coincidence, spent a full evening there. And then the doctor said, like, you have so much stress in your body, you really need to do something about it because it's pretty dangerous. You're very fit, so that's your luck, but it's very dangerous. And then like my ex-girlfriend was in Mexico, and she's like, oh, it's very nice to travel here. We didn't mean to see each other. We didn't see each other, but I went to Mexico to travel. And there I was traveling for 3 weeks. And then she sent me a message, and she said, I did an ayahuasca ceremony, and yeah, I think you should go. So that was like my first experience getting in touch with ayahuasca.
Do you mind sharing the story about you sitting on the rock on Ibiza, or is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret.
Because I think it's a really touching moment.
Yeah, it's like I was stumbling down this hole of like dark feelings, even to the point that I'm getting goosebumps now when I think about it. But it's, and I can still cry about this moment because it's like the last 5 years, the things that I did and the position that I'm in now. I'm so happy now.
You are allowed to cry on the podcast.
Thank you. I don't know if I will, but I'm getting emotional a little bit.
You must. No, you must.
But I was sitting on this rock, like in Ibiza. Ibiza is really my island in Europe. I really like it there, and I was sitting on this rock, and like when I got into this, when I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, I was like, I really need to rediscover myself because I didn't know who I was. I quit my job. I went digital nomad. I broke up with my girlfriend. Like this whole phase, like all kinds of things were happening, and I wanted to rediscover myself. So I spent a lot of time alone, like to really get to know myself again. And at one point, I was in Ibiza, like in my place where normally I was very happy, and I was sitting on this rock. Like this beautiful sunset, one of the most beautiful places in Ibiza, like amazing. Yeah, and I felt so depressed after months of dark thoughts. I thought like, yeah, if I jump off this cliff, I wouldn't care. And you see the emotions. Yeah, it was a hard moment, but I get emotional because I know where I came from and the way I feel now, because now I have this like this I don't know, unconditional love for myself and this inner peace and this happiness that it took me a while to get there, but I think ayahuasca opened a door for me because 5 years ago, I used to laugh at spiritual people. Like I did, like my mom is very spiritual, but I would always like make fun of her, and like I thought like spiritual people were like hippie kind of like folk. And yeah, my vision on that changed a lot. So, but it started with the ayahuasca, because I did my first ceremony in the jungle in Mexico, and yeah, I don't know. I had experience with psychedelics before, but always like party wise, so never in a ceremonial way. And that first experience there in the jungle in Mexico was for me like really, really profound. And yeah, it connected me with something that I never felt before, something bigger than myself. Like I was pretty ego driven, like always like chasing success and status and money. And I've always felt like, if I'm this age, then I'm going to quit working and buy a Ferrari and all that kind of stuff. And like at that point, I started feeling like there's much more important things in life. And there's like this feeling of being one with everything. Yeah, I never felt that before. And I think that like awakened me to want to explore more about this subject, this whole spirituality thing. And I think like spirituality, sometimes people ask me, what is spirituality for you? And like for me, it's like this deeper search in myself to figure out life. I think that's...
that's something you discovered that was bigger than you. Do you reckon it would be too big to call it God?
I've done a lot of research, and I since that experience I started reading books and like not really spiritual books, but like personal development stuff, and maybe deeper than what I did before, because I'm like a neuro-linguistic programming coach, and I did like a lot of like
Back.
Yeah, maybe you need it later.
Yeah.
But so I did a lot of like personal development stuff, but then I started like reading stuff that were like about spirituality, and I don't believe in God the way like we have, for example, in the Bible, or that we have with religions. But I believe in maybe like a God as a source of everything, that everything is energy, and yeah, that's and I felt it. Like I did multiple ayahuasca ceremonies, even here. Like last year, I did 8 ceremonies here, and in this period of volunteering, I did, I don't know, 4 or 5. So I think like in total, I have like 15, maybe between 15 and 20 ayahuasca ceremonies. And I had such deep, profound experiences. And like in many, I felt this feeling of wholeness with everything. I remember last year when I was here, I did one ceremony, and my intention was to connect to the universe. So I left my body. It was just telling me, okay, your body's fine. This is a safe place. You can leave your body now. And I went into what I believe is like the feeling of afterlife, like dying and just going somewhere. And yeah, it just connected me to everything, like the animals, the people in the Maloka, like the wood. Like I remember like hugging this pole for like 20 minutes, because I just felt it was like the same as me. And yeah, for me, that's like, if we use the term God, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, the best sort of explanation I have found in my personal search is, if God is a tree, it's cool. We have a tree right behind us.
Yeah,
God is a tree.
there was a hummingbird there.
Yeah, we are leaves.
Yeah.
So you're God, I'm God. So it's like a tree without leaves is a dead tree. So it's like we are God, but we're not really completely God, but we're a little bit of God, and that kind of makes sense, because we're all that. I mean, it's a big tree with a lot of leaves, but still we're all connected.
Yeah, it's like I have this feeling now that like, and I had this feeling before I started like really, like before I started reading The Power of Now and like these really spiritual books, like I had, because of the ayahuasca ceremonies, I had these feelings of like, okay, I'm a soul in a human body having this experience, right? And like my soul is part of this bigger thing, like this source, and eventually I'm here to experience, and then I go back to the source and take my experience with me, or with me to like back to whatever that source is. And we'll probably never know, right? Because we find out when we die. But It's
There's no way to send a message from the other side. And
nice. But I think that's the mystery of life. It's like we're here for like what, like maybe 100 years if you're lucky, 90 or 80 or whatever, and you're just trying to figure out what this thing is about.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely changed my view on dying as well, and that notion of that we're souls having a human experience. It's in the books, but it's also I've learned it from tens of different people from different parts of the world come here to drink ayahuasca, learning it from ayahuasca, and then telling it to me in the word circle. They never read it anywhere. And in different words. It could be, oh, there's an alien ship and we're aliens. We come here and then we go back, or in like very different many ways, but explaining the same concept.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of living and dying, that brings me to the topic I want to talk to you about. It's like, you were kind of ready to end it prematurely, end your life, which is not recommended. I guess we are here for a reason, and we have to have the full experience.
Yeah.
You don't want to quit ahead of the time. So first of all, congratulations, and thank you for not ending it. It's great to have you here, great to have you as a friend. So I'm just happy you didn't do it. But trying to reconnect with those thoughts and those feelings back then where you were so close, and it's like we're always a hair away from it. It's like something bad happens, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, there's always a way out.
Yeah.
What would you tell people like on the other side of the screen who are feeling those thoughts, and maybe they're like, I don't know, this ayahuasca thing, whatever. What would you tell them if they're feeling those experiences? Like, what would you want them to do?
Yeah. I would want them to realize that they're not alone. How alone it feels for you at that point. Like there's always like a way out, and there's always like if you're like at the bottom, the only way you can go is like up, right? But you just have to open yourself up for the things that are like available. And I started out with going to the psychiatrist for 13 months, and talking to this psychiatrist. Was a woman. She was very nice. And it, like, for me, what that did was, like, I had the chance to open up finally to somebody who was objective. And, but still, after like 13 months, I didn't feel like I was at that point that it was like solved, or that my problems were gone, or it just made me cry a lot. And I think that energy release is very good. So it was healing, but it still felt like really superficial in a way, like not going like deep. And, yeah, like the plant medicine, it changed the whole thing for me. It's a horrible story, but I had a colleague when I was doing the bodyguard work, and he shot himself on a Saturday afternoon while his wife and kid was at home, and he took his service gun and laid in his bed, and he shot himself in his head, through the head, and. I don't know. I remember because I always remember this story. His name was Dennis, but I was so caught off of my emotions. Like I didn't know how to handle my emotions, that I, like all the guys in the unit, the only thing we did was like make like sick jokes about it, and then laughed a little bit. And then that was our way of coping. So I was in this situation for so long that like, I saw horrible stuff, like also, and it just became normal. It was really for me afterwards, it felt, because when I was there, it didn't bother me, but afterwards felt really toxic. And I think that also like got me into this dark space, like not being connected to myself, not being connected to my emotions. So if I would recommend something to anybody that's in that situation, is just try find help and get back in touch with yourself, like on a deeper level. And I think like going to a psychiatrist is good, for example, maybe as a start. But for me, plant medicine like really opened the door to healing.
Very hypothetical questions, and you don't have to answer, but now knowing what you know and seeing what you're seeing, do you reckon if his name was Dennis?
Yeah.
If he would just in a lucky chance would have ayahuasca, would you think he would still kill himself?
You never know, right? But I think like I think back about the situation sometimes, and it's like I remember myself sitting on the rock, right? And thinking like, okay, like I'm ready to jump in. I don't care anymore. And for him, like to get like past this level and take that gun and just shoot himself, it's like, I don't believe I was at that point, because I always was thinking about my loving family and everything. Something was holding me back, but he got to the point that he really did it. And it's like maybe one step more to, just do it. And I believe that if he would like experience, for example, ayahuasca and get this deeper feeling of what's possible to heal, like really get in touch with this darkness that's inside you, and getting the opportunity to heal it. I think that maybe, I don't know, it's a hypothetical, but I believe that anybody that gets in touch with this feeling of healing is you can solve a lot of things for yourself.
There is some magic that happens when you work with this medicine that just kind of like opens up something that just changes your perspective forever. And I'm very passionate about this work because I've seen how it helped me and so many people. So I just can't help but think like, what if instead of like drinking alcohol every Christmas, we would all drink ayahuasca, and like with all those Kurt Cobains or I forgot the name, but this solo guy in the Linkin Park.
Oh yeah.
Like, what would they kill themselves, or maybe they'd still be around? You know, it's like, of course, it's very hypothetical. But if you're listening and you're struggling, get some help, talk to a friend. And if it's really, really rough and you just like nothing else you think is working, and you haven't tried ayahuasca before, just give it a try.
Yeah.
We had quite a few people that did it, and it worked for them. Not a medical advice, of course, but
no.
It's if you have nothing to lose, and you're just afraid to be like to puke for one night, you have no reason to be afraid, right? Because so
it's like the one thing that because I want to bring groups of men here, right? And like the one thing that I always hear is like people are afraid of letting go of control, and there's darkness inside them, so they're kind of like afraid of what they'll run into. But for me, like I also had like a lot of darkness in myself, and we're always talking about surrendering, right?
Yeah.
Like giving yourself to Mama Ayahuasca and just surrendering and let her show you what you need. And I think a lot of people could benefit from it. If you look at the Western modern like medical world and all the things they prescribe, if you don't feel good, like for me, I think ayahuasca and plant medicine in general could like do a lot more healing than the Western medicine that we have. But
it's not going to be easy if you're so bad emotionally. Coming to ayahuasca, it's not going to be like rainbows and butterflies. You will purge and there'll be pain and stuff will come out, but it will 100% release something, and then therapy, integration, and you can have a new life. So just as a motivation for some of you who are struggling, let's talk about repressing emotions and stress. Like I personally did it for a long time as well. When I was working in offshore oil and gas, it was just an unpleasant life. You work for 12 hours a day. You do things that you don't really enjoy. You just do it for money, and you're just kind of counting days so you go back home, and then you come back home and you're like, 28 days from now I have to like go back, and you can't help it, but you're like, I have 3 weeks left, 2 weeks left. It's constant anxiety. And then before that, my traumatic childhood, and just like living life that is not enjoyable. You like logically your mind is like, this emotion thing, let me just switch it off. If it's unpleasant all the time, why bother, And I did it myself as well through medicine when I opened up to the emotions, and I feel more. How was that process for you? And do you reckon try and find a connection between repressing your emotion, that stress building because of that, and your blood pressure, and like how did it feel, and like any thoughts about that?
Like for me, I grew up in this loving family, and inside the family, like I was all love. Like I know that I'm like inside I'm a good guy and I have a lot of love in me, But because of the environment that I grew up in and just like the way my life, like I feel like now looking back at the first 40 years, I was always trying to be this tough guy, like this really masculine guy. And it's like I was trained for it also. I think I started at a young age to like outside when I was like in this like tough environment and I needed to fight for my spot, and just I don't know, it just turned me into this this tough testosterone monkey.
That's exactly how I see you still.
Yeah, still.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I have like a good balance in masculine and feminine energy,
Yeah.
I think. But it's like I don't know. Sometimes I think back about it, like where did it start or where did it happen? And I think it happened like at a really young age. Like I'm gonna tell the story, okay? Because I don't tell this story much because like the rest of the world doesn't know. But when I was 15, I started drug dealing. And I did it until the age of 23, and like I got like this gang-related stuff going on when I was 15, and even in the Netherlands, like you don't think they have it there, but it's like when I went outside, it was all like really like small-time criminals. And that was like, it started out with graffiti and that kind of stuff, but then it grew into like, oh, I want to make some money, and I just started drug dealing. Started with weed, and then like in Holland we have a lot of ecstasy pills and cocaine and that kind of stuff, and it just grew into this business that eventually was pretty big. And I had to toughen up to like really to get around in that space, because there's there's a lot of danger there. And like I when I was 20 or 21, I bought a gun to protect myself. So it was like and my parents didn't know like anything. Like I was still like living at home with my parents, and just outside I was in this life that was like pretty dangerous. I had some nasty situation going on, and there was like a lot of money going around. I don't know, I don't remember how much I spent when I was like between 20 and 23, but like a lot. So I had this like life that was for me like very adventurous, and it felt like really good, but I got into some bad situations, and I think there I made the switch to like cut myself off of my emotions, because I needed to like if it was necessary, I needed to do stuff that wasn't really nice. And then afterwards when I stopped, I quit, because like eventually I thought like I don't want to keep doing this, and a friend of mine, he got caught, so that made me like stop. And then I worked a corporate job for like a year and a half, because I graduated school, and then I went to work, and I felt so miserable and unhappy. And my dream was always to go like into special forces and do like government work and special units and this and that. And then I after a year and a half, I applied, and then I went into the service stuff. And there it's just, you get trained like from day one to just cut off your emotions. It's like the emotions are weakness. You don't need them, cut them off. But it like, I did the work for 13 years. I think I was pretty good at it. And, but it also like estranged me a little bit from normal life. So near my family, near my friends, like I was like 4 or 5 days a week, I was doing the work, and I was like in this other place, in this whole other world where emotions weren't allowed. And then in the weekend, I would go to this kid's birthday of one of my friends. I was just standing there, and I was like, what the fuck are you people talking about? This is like so strange for me. So it really estranged me. And I think that whole like cutting off the emotion stuff, it's not a good thing. Like you see so many people here that are like cut off from their emotions. And like for me, ayahuasca is a very good way to like get back in touch with it.
Yeah, I personally was able to reconnect myself with emotions. Not immediately, it took a while, and now it's I almost regret it sometimes, because it's so painful.
Yeah, it is.
When the bad emotions come, you're like, it's like you feel them all at the same time. But then I'm also able to feel good emotions.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what makes you human.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel anything, you're just a robot.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Your story is pretty cool. You can make a movie about you.
Yeah, sometimes people, they tell me to write a book or something.
Yeah, you went
Because I went from like dealing drugs to like protecting like the Dutch royal family was like,
You went from the bottom of the society to the top.
To the top, yeah.
And now you look like someone who should wear linen clothes and have a copper mug.
Like I wear a punk all the time. Like fortunately, but from you.
Yeah.
I feel like this, yeah.
And it's beautiful as well because it shows that anyone can change. There's never too late to change. Life is not stagnant. You can be many different things and you can like navigate your way.
Yeah.
And you can, even from the most darkest moments, you can learn about things. And not only that, but you can bring all of that together and then help other people like you do.
Yeah.
So
can I say one thing about it? Like it's, I feel like after doing the ayahuasca and having like this spiritual awakening and doing this deeper spiritual work, that like everything that I did in my life, it was meant to be. Like it happened for a reason. Like even all the dark stuff, everything happened for a reason to bring me to this point, like where I am now. And that's like, I'm still the same guy. Like I just expanded my identity and now I'm not doing that like 100% masculine stuff anymore, but I switched to like really balancing out like the masculine feminine energy and getting in touch with my deeper self and my emotions. And like I've actually like before I was happy, but like unconsciously happy. I was just living life and every day I got up and I was thinking like, oh, I want to make this the best day of my life. But I had no like deeper thoughts about life or anything. And now I'm like so conscious of like how much time I have and that I need to spend it like with purpose and just when I have stuff. I mean, my life is very good, but I still have like stuff going on, right? We all have stuff going on. But now I'm like so much better in like handling it, like just feeling through it and just also knowing like a universal trust that ayahuasca gave me that everything will be okay. And it like, for example, like sometimes it's crazy because you said about dying, right? But because of my ayahuasca ceremonies and especially the one where I went into the universe, my whole fear of dying that I have like in phases of my life, it's like totally gone. If I would blow up my last breath after this podcast, I would be satisfied. It's like a really strange feeling.
I'll resuscitate you mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
So don't die.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to. I saw in a vision once that I'm gonna be 89. So I have trust that I'll have some more years. You never know.
Good age.
But we have to spend every minute of our life trying to live it with purpose, I think.
Yeah, it's that's the beauty of ayahuasca, right? You come to it for healing, like, oh, I'm a little depressed, let me just heal, and then your whole world gets turned upside down. Your values change, and you like understand those things. And I've been in this work for like 5 years now, and it still feels like a very, very beginning.
Yeah.
And the beauty of your journey and your story is like, if you were just you come from a beautiful family, and let's say you just went to a good school, and then you went to a good job, and now you're same age, but you never had those experiences. Like people would not care about your story, because like, how can you tell someone like what to do and how to overcome struggles if you never had one yourself? Yeah. Like, how could you coach someone if you just had a nice life?
Yeah.
You know, so your pain and your struggles give you the strength to then help others. So all of the people, and I meet so many people, and that people that I interview on the podcast as well, they had like really bad things happen to them, or a really difficult life.
Yeah.
And they went to really dark places to then be able to like get to understand the full spectrum.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Your work, you work with men.
Mm-hmm.
You help men get fit, mentally fit. You said you want to bring them over here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that, and try and talk about midlife crisis. I'm sure you deal a lot with that. What is it? You said you had it yourself.
Yeah.
I had my little sort of quarter life crisis when I was about like in between 25 and 30. That kind of brought me to this life.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it was like this strange feeling. I don't know. It's like the age of 40 or something. But for me, it happened like when I was 40, and I all these things were happening in my life, and I was going down this rabbit hole of darkness, and I just got these bigger life questions that I never had, like who am I, right? Like deeply inside, like I'm living this superficial life. It's very strange because
Who are you though? Do you know the answer, or can you word it? Because people ask me that, and I'm like, I kind of know, but I don't know how to explain. Can you?
No, I think it's very difficult. Like you can maybe explain on a human level, like what you do and who and your name and like everything, like your identity. But on a deeper level, I don't think it's explainable.
Psychedelically, I understand it now.
Yeah.
Like I know.
Yeah.
But I can't explain it. But sorry, I interrupted. I thought maybe you just have an answer.
No worries. But it's like this deeper search in myself to like. I think it's just like getting to know myself on a deep level, so I can figure out this life like the way it's like the way I wanna live my life. Because there's like you can go two ways, right? You can be like live in victimhood or you take leadership over your life. But this midlife crisis feeling, actually, it got enhanced because like all this stuff was going on, and then I was like success. I had a lot of success, a lot of status, a lot of money, and it didn't make me happy. And I like all the things that I was always chasing. It felt like, kind of like not worthless, because I see money as energy now, and I know I need it to like provide in my life. But like all the things that I was chasing, it didn't feel like it gave me the satisfaction afterwards that I always thought it would be. Or would have, and that's what like kind of tumbled me into this feeling of midlife crisis. And the guys that I help now, the guys that I coach, are mostly like successful businessmen, and they have like everything. They have this family, and they have money and a company, or they sold their company and they're retired already on a young age, but they lack happiness inside, and they have this feeling of emptiness that. That I recognize because I had it. I had it in 2020, 2021. Like this emptiness inside, like of having everything, but still not feeling, satisfied, I think. It's not like, I don't know if satisfied is the right word, but like feeling a little empty and purposeless.
How can ayahuasca help? Like, because you want to bring them here. Why?
Yeah. Because like I know because of coaching all the guys that they have a lack of purpose, right? They have been chasing this thing all the time, all their life, and then they have it, and then they find out that that's not what makes them happy. And like to feel like happy inside is I found out because of ayahuasca that there's like this inner wisdom inside ourselves. That I forgot about it. It's funny because I did a ceremony last week, and I wrote one thing in my journal, and it was like, everything is already there, you just have to remember. And I feel like there's this inner wisdom inside of ourselves that we forget about because we have our lives and everything's busy and we're chasing all this stuff. And but when you use ayahuasca, I think you can really connect with this inner wisdom, and inside is this. For me, this is my truth, right? But it's like, for me, there's like this unconditional love and like this inner peace and this feeling of universal trust that I think that if anybody feels it, then they can be happy even without anything. Like my sometimes my world is burning, right? Like stuff around me happens and it's like on fire. I don't know, for me, I just can go back, even when I'm not using ayahuasca, but I can go back to this inner wisdom inside myself and just be safe and be happy and feel this inner peace, even though I have problems. And I know that it's gonna like solve itself. And I'm a hard worker, so I work to solve stuff, but I feel like the universe is guiding me in that way. And I found out because of ayahuasca. So that's why I want to bring the guys here and like really try to connect them with something, because this is my experience, right? Like the experience will be different for everybody, but trying to let them connect with something that's like, maybe unexplainable, but they will feel it when they're here. Yeah.
That's the challenge of this work, this podcast, or even the documentary we're making. You and I, we understand very well what it is we're talking about.
Yeah.
But how do you explain to people that feeling or that understanding or that? So hopefully, if someone is listening to like 100 episodes, eventually, by looking at this thing from so many different angles, maybe they can embody it without even drinking ayahuasca. But I mean, honestly, just come and do it. Like,
and for me, it took like 3 years. I was like investigating it already for 3 years, but it like ayahuasca calls you, right? There's this moment that it's there, and then you're like, okay, now I'm gonna do it. But it took me like 3 years or something to like really get over that point to come to ayahuasca. And also one thing that is like changed for me, like I was like, and I see a lot of those guys that I coach, I see them doing it. But like I was always chasing like this cheap dopamine stuff, like porn, women, like social media, like news. Like I was always like entangled in this stuff of chasing this cheap dopamine. And I one thing, like my whole spiritual journey wasn't easy because I got rid of like I don't drink alcohol anymore. I don't do drugs like party wise. I party sometimes, but I do it like I get high on my own supply now. And it's like like I quit watching porn, like all this stuff I don't do anymore. But I had a really hard phase of like, okay, I feel that I need to stop this stuff. But like, what can replace it? And it took me a while to find out. But ayahuasca also showed me, like, I had this really profound session where it just showed me that I should just connect to nature. I should meditate. I should do reading. Like all this like boring stuff that I used to like not find that interesting. Like the guys I coach, I see them doing this stuff a lot. Like, and everybody walks their own path, right? So they'll get there eventually, hopefully, and maybe some people in this life won't. But I would really like for them. I'm just trying to open doors for them to give them possibilities to find out another way. And I think like ayahuasca, is for me, it changed my life. Like I got so much profound stuff from it. It's I'm a big fan. And especially people should come here.
Yeah.
Because I did it in Mexico before. And there was like a shaman from Peru. And there was a good team of helpers. So I'm not complaining about the situation. But there you had like 45 minutes of explanation. This is ayahuasca. Okay, here's a campfire. You can do this and this and this. Here's your first cup. And you could take like 3, 4, 5 in a night. Like it was a full night, like one night experience. And it was like, it felt for me like afterwards, because I had a very good experience, but it felt like more like hardcore, not really for beginners. And I was very happy that I did psychedelics before, so I didn't get like panicky or whatever. But this place is like so safe. Like I would recommend everybody that's like, especially first timers, but also people that have more experience, like to come here and do it in such a safe place with a shaman that is so experienced and like a team of like loving people. And this nature here is like, I don't know, this is a place for me. That's why I'm coming back every year, right? So
So before we switch the topic, you were saying, everything is within you.
Yeah.
And I'd love to say that I completely understand it and embody it. I still seek things outside of me.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting older as well. I think I'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to see, and I've also met many people who have made a lot of money, and once they did, all of a sudden they're like, the meaning is gone. It's like when you chase this external goal, and then when you get to the end of it and you expect something, and something similar happened to me. It's like I was told that you go to school and you study well, and then you get a good job. And then you make money and you buy yourself everything you need. Yeah. And I guess I'm lucky because I was able to do it all so quickly and achieve those goals society sets for you that I could quickly see that there's nothing there in the end of it. But if you are still in it and you're like, I just have 10 years left of mortgage to pay. And then once I have this house, then I will be happy. But the happiness never comes. And especially when you meet people, I've met people that sell their businesses for like 8 figures and they solved all of their problems in the physical reality. And they all of a sudden collapsed. Like they just like, everything lost meaning because now you can't run away from yourself anymore externally. So it's like, you have to go back to the core. You have to like go deep. There's nothing outside.
No.
And I'm only saying this not as someone who completely embodies it. Disclaimer, I'm still learning it, but it is, I think, very deep understanding. Anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, like we're all trying to figure it out, right? I mean, I don't have all the answers. I think this life is like a search for meaning. Like, and I found out, like, I was always chasing stuff that eventually didn't feel like purpose to me, like really meaningful. And now, like, because I did this, like, searching inside myself, that's why I'm saying, like, all the answers are inside yourself, because, like, all the external stuff, once you find out that it's not that meaningful, there's only one place to search, right? It's, like, inside yourself. And I think it's a search that will never end. So I'm still finding things out. I'm, like, discovering myself. And I really enjoy the journey, even though it's, like, sometimes very hard. But I realized that, like, we have this darkness and light in life, and you should embrace both. Like, I mean, you need the darkness to be more light. Mm-hmm. And it's just and it's it's true. It's hard to explain, but it's like, because of the ayahuasca, you can really connect with that deeper level inside yourself. Like, this deeper consciousness, I could never find it without plant medicine, like without ayahuasca. And I found it because of ayahuasca. Like, there's people who say that, like meditation or this or that. And I'm like, I use all those things. But, like, the only thing that really brought me, like, really, really deep, I believe, to my core, like on a soul level, where I felt things that I probably, I don't believe I could find out in any other way. Like, ayahuasca brought me there. And that's why I'm, like, such a fan of it.
Yeah, I love all the modalities out there. I think they all have place, and they all have, like, I meditate and I do yoga. If you can see my yoga mat right there. Yes. This is where I do my yoga as well, my podcast studio. Mm-hmm. But not often, unfortunately. I'm still trying to do it more often.
Yeah, good for you,
Yeah. All of them are good. But I think for some of them, for some of us, if not most of us, mm-hmm. we're so far gone because of the way the society is, and because of how locked we are. It's like, it will probably take me 50 years of meditation to ever get there, but I would not be able to meditate for 50 years.
No.
So I think ayahuasca is this dynamite that we need, a lot of us need, just to, like, break through. And then after that, you can use all of the other things. Yeah. Because now you can use meditation to integrate, and you can use coaching and therapy. But it's like, for some of us, we just won't be able to feel it. And on the previous topic about, like, running away from yourself or, like, getting something externally, I like to say, it's like, no matter where you go, there you are. Yeah. It's like, you cannot run away from yourself.
No.
And you can only pretend or do it temporarily, eventually to catch up with you with even more strength. So stop, look at the pain, go towards the pain. And if you need some help, have some ayahuasca. Yeah. You mentioned loving, beautiful team of LaWayra. I think our team is amazing. Yesterday we had our little social event. Yeah. And I was like, this is not normal. We should, the team, the work environment shouldn't be that nice. Yeah. There should be, like, it doesn't feel like work. Yeah. It's just too nice.
They should have a little bit more pain.
Yeah. Right? But you yourself, as a member of that team, it's like, you have this huge following on social media, you have big business. Why, instead of, like, doing that, why volunteer at LaWayra? Like, why are you here?
Yeah. Like, I felt it in one ayahuasca ceremony. So I came here first as a patient, like, last year in April. And then, like, I think in the first ceremony, it told me, like, oh, you're gonna be a volunteer here. And, like, my whole perspective of life changed, of, like, being egoistic or egocentric and like chasing all this stuff to, like, being of service and just helping people. And like, I coach men now. I call myself, like, a body, mindset and soul coach. Like, I try to combine all the stuff. But it's just, I don't know, I just want to spread this message of not only plant medicine, but just trying to make people happier and, like, live their best life. Because life is great, right? But it's what you make of it. And even if you have, like, a lot of trauma going on, you can still get into this place where you're, like, living your best life. I really believe that, even though, like, some people you hear their stories and it's, like, really horrible, right? It's like, but they leave and they're like in this. It opened like doors, and it's like, and that's what I felt already when I was called to be a volunteer. That I would come here and be of service in these ceremonies, and it's so grateful. It gives me so much gratitude just helping out people. I did a volunteering experience once in a hospice. So I did it for 5 months just to, like, I was never like, not a lot like in touch with death. So I thought like, oh yeah, if I want to learn more about it, I'm going to volunteer in a hospice and see how it is. And there it gave me this feeling. It was one of the most like extraordinary things that I did in my life. Like one of the most rewarding things. Yeah, I can't explain it. It was so rewarding. Like just taking care of people in that last phase of their life. And this just opened the door for me to, like, I don't know, be of service and just help other people. And this place for me, I mean, this already feels like my second home, right? It's like I want to come back every year, and I want to volunteer every year, and I come back as a patient. So I'm really connected to this place. And yeah, I would just, everybody who's thinking about volunteering, just come and try it out. And yeah, I think it will like give you a lot of gratitude. Yeah.
I mean, and mind that volunteering here is not easy.
No.
It's a very emotional, it's draining. It's like, there's a lot of like, it's like going to a gym.
Yeah.
It's like going to a spiritual gym, because you're in a ward circle and there's people sharing and you're learning about yourself, and then you drink the medicine yourself. But so it is hard, but it also like makes you stronger and it makes you learn a lot. I think like for me personally, I mean, of course I do a lot of it myself, and I used to do all of it myself from the beginning. But like all those word circles, for example, it's like I can't think of a different way to gain so much wisdom than to be in those word circles, and like you start to see patterns and you analyze and you learn, and it's just like I feel like sometimes people ask me things and I'm like, oh, here's your answer. I'm like, where do I even know this from? Like you start to feel wise. This combination of ayahuasca and people and so much emotions. What have you learned from volunteering here?
Like there's a lot of stuff going on when you volunteer. Like you're in your personal process. So you drink ayahuasca, and you drink the service cups, and you're in your personal process. And then you have the team dynamics, and then you have like the energy of the patients. What I've learned, like for people thinking about doing ayahuasca or maybe volunteering, is like for me the biggest lesson if you come here and you get in touch with ayahuasca, like it will open doors that can change your life. So it's like you see the most horrible stories here, right? People come here like child abuse, like all these stories that I'm like unimaginable for me, like the things that people have gone through. And then like they walk out here like a week later or 2 weeks later or whatever, they have their journey here and they walk out and they have this like, I don't know, this positive energy over them. It's it's very, very profound to see. And you learn so much from hearing all the stories, right? Even if you're like part of the team or you're like a patient here, like the word circles, like all the experiences of other people, it's just healing by itself. And I think that's for me, like I had even my personal process, like coming here for the last couple of months, it's given me so much that it's probably too much to just name, but it's really, really beautiful.
Seeing the buses of unhappy people come and then buses of happy people leave. It's like a factory. Conveyor belt. People come unhappy and leave happy.
It feels a little bit that way because we see buses come and buses leave, right? And every time it's like you're a little bit sad, like you had such a nice experience with this group and then they leave again. So, I worked in a factory once. It didn't feel the same as here.
It's a spiritual factory.
Yeah, this is a spiritual factory. Yeah.
So, you mentioned that topic a couple times, masculinity. I've heard people refer to you in the word circles like, Rinus, you're the epitome of masculinity, like the way you balance things. You know, can you talk to us about that? You know, obviously you're a masculine guy, you teach people, you're military, you know, you can kill and you can love and all that. now you can cry and all that stuff. So talk about like healthy masculinity.
Yeah. I think like healthy masculinity is like having the really good balance between being masculine and also like embracing your feminine energy. And like a couple of years ago, I didn't even know what like feminine energy was. So yeah, for me, it's like getting in touch with my feminine side is like connecting with my emotions, letting myself feel them and just cry if I have to, or just go through the emotions and whatever comes and makes me angry or whatever, like really connecting with it on a deeper level. Like I used to, when I thought like emotions were thoughts, right? But emotions are like in your body and your brain makes something of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like really connecting deeply with that. And it just gave me this better understanding of myself, like better understanding of other people, like more compassion, like intuition, like, but on a different level. I had intuition before because I did the bodyguard work and you need it, right? But it's like on a different level, like, feeling other people, like, their energies or what's going on with people. I don't know. It's like, especially the compassion. I don't think like I was a very compassionate guy before, because I was so closed off. But now, because I'm like so in touch with myself, I have all these like things that we can call like feminine energy, but it's like I use them when I need to. So I'm still this, like, I can be a tough guy and I can do manly stuff, and like people always say, oh, I feel so safe around you and you're so masculine and this and that. But I also, like, when I need to cry, I just cry, because I know it's like letting go of energy. I don't like, I stopped wearing all my masks. Like I had a lot of masks. Like I was always trying to the outside be this certain type of guy. And now I'm like, I don't care what everybody thinks about me. And if I need to cry, I need to cry. If I get emotional, I get emotional. It's and it's a very nice feeling. It's like, it made me feel whole. When before I was just this, I don't know, like I always call it like this testosterone monkey, and always like chasing certain stuff. And now I'm, like, for example, like my relationship with my girlfriend, like in my last relationship with my ex, afterwards, like in the relationship, I was a little bit egocentric, so I didn't really care on a deep level, and I was cut off by, I don't think I can, it wasn't really my fault, because I was cut off so far from my emotions. But now with my current girlfriend, and I think I needed to go through all that stuff before with my ex and all the relationships that I had to become this man that I am now. But now I'm just really, I can really like understand my girlfriend better. So it's, it's, I don't know, it's just this process of connecting with this feminine energy, but still being a man. And like in the world we live in, I see this like two types of men, like men that are like really masculine, like always chasing stuff, and like how I was a little bit, but maybe in their own like personal life. And then you have these men that are like becoming maybe a little bit too much to the feminine side because of like society and all the things that are going on. And I don't know. I really feel it's like if you balance it out, that's the best way to go. And I feel like really whole. Yeah.
You look whole.
Yeah. That's,
It's all about balance.
Yeah.
Yin and yang.
Yeah.
So talk to us about your work. What you help men with, and maybe for some men that are listening, you know, why they should maybe reach out to you.
So I used to be, when I started entrepreneuring, I was a fitness coach, online fitness coach for 8 years. I had a company and I quit it last year. I was like doing really good. But because of like the whole journey that I'm making, it felt like superficial for me. So I quit it eventually. And now I'm like combining all the stuff that I'm like, this whole journey that I did, I find like, okay, we're like a soul in a human body. So you need your body, right? You need a good body to live this life. So I help guys, if they're not in shape, I help them get in shape and get healthy. But it's all, and I'm very mindset trained because of the army work and like working for the government. So I know a lot about mindset training and being strong and like all that kind of stuff. Like handling stress and not getting knocked off your feet like with every small thing. But it's also like I combine it now with the spiritual stuff. So I feel like I don't feel like a guru or anything, but I think I have this like inner wisdom that I found out about. And like I can open doors for guys to find ways to connect deeper to themselves. And like I do this whole package now. So I have my own podcast. It's Dutch, but I have this mailing list, and I just if guys need help, and they mostly connect to my stories, right? So I'm a little bit of a storyteller, so I tell stories. For example, I had this Viagra addiction for a long time. I was always like having sex with women, like, and thinking I needed to perform like really well and be a porn actor and do this kind of like porn stuff. If I tell that story, there's so many men that connect to this story that they're like, oh, I use Viagra also to like have this feeling of performing, like this pressure, or I have like different kinds of problems like libido or whatever. And it's just, I just tell stories, and then like men connect to what I'm doing. And then I try to help them on a deeper level to like, just connect deeper with themselves. That's the main thing I do. And we just talk about life, like the way we do. Like we talk about life, and I'm very intuitive. So usually it can go about their relationship, can go about their health, can go about like their search for purpose, like, sometimes, I don't know, people call me a life coach, but I think, I don't know if that's the right term, but I just share my experience and try to help guys, mostly find themselves back, get healthy mentally, physically, and also maybe connect on a spiritual level.
So where can people find you?
I have a website. It's called rinusvanofferen.com. It's, they can find me on Instagram also, and my Dutch podcasts. I don't know, for international listeners, it's not.
If you speak Dutch, check out this podcast. If you don't speak Dutch, learn Dutch, and then check out this podcast.
But also, like, if you're English speaking, like you can find me on my website and just send me a message.
What's your Instagram handle?
It's Rinus Van Offeren also.
Rinus Van Offeren.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rinus. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for your help here at LaWayra. Thank you for the work you're doing for the men. Thank you for your grounded energy. Thank you for wanting to bring groups of men here. I'm excited for that. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be men-only retreats, or we haven't figured out yet?
Yeah.
I think one day we'll do men-only retreats. So if you're interested into that, just send me a message somewhere, because we want to know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. But thank you for having me on the podcast and here. It's just, I'm grateful. And we're getting to know each other. Like, I feel like you're a very good guy, and we connect very well on different levels. So, and you know, I don't know. I don't believe in coincidence anymore, but there's a reason we met. And I'm very grateful for it. So thank you.
Thank you. And guys, you've been listening to Ayahuasca Podcast. As always, with you, the host, Sam Believe, and I will see you in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to support us and psychedelic renaissance at large, please follow us and leave us a like wherever it is you're listening. Share this episode with someone who will benefit from this information. Nothing in this podcast is intended as medical advice, and it is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This episode is sponsored by LaWayra Ayahuasca Retreat. At LaWayra, we combine affordability, accessibility, and authenticity. LaWayra, connect, heal, grow. Guys, I'm looking forward to hosting you.